Hi learners, welcome to IoT Design and Applications. So in this session, we are going to see two different modes. We call modes called as sensor nodes. Generally, modes are called as sensor nodes. Okay, so already we have seen two different boards called as Arduino and Raspberry Pi. So mostly Arduino and Raspberry Pi, though they are embedded system boards, embedded boards, but these modes they are mainly for sensor networks, or we call they are IoT devices. Modes can be called as IoT devices. Raspberry Pi or Arduino, we cannot call them IoT devices. It is a general purpose embedded system board, and we can make use of many applications, but here mainly on the sensing applications we can use these modes. That's why the name itself is called as modes. Now in this session we are going to see two kind of modes called as Z1 and Zoll. So both are from the company called as Zolatia. So why I have given Zolatia here is, earlier we have different modes called as Sky modes, Wismode, then we have Mica Z, then we have Mica 2, and we call MSP 430 based boards. So even this Zolatia also based on MSP 430. So generally for compiling this you need to have MSP 430 in your operating system. So maybe this is how the way we installed Contiki NG. So Contiki NG comes with the MSP 430 libraries. So these are the boards that were existing five years back. Now also they are existing, but they may not be suitable for pure IoT for due to so many reasons. So now this Zolatia Z1 and Zoll modes that we can able to do programming for mainly for IoT devices. These also have the same size of the Arduino boards. Maybe sometime it will be smaller than the Arduino boards. Now we will go into it. Now what are the purpose these Zolatia modes can be programmed? Okay, so we can use for smart cities, smart building, industry 4.0, immersing your device in the IoT, personal healthcare monitoring, environmental monitoring, emergency detectors, safe and rescue devices, long term unattended monitoring, energy metering, agricultural monitoring. So we can able to see so many different applications that Zolatia modes can be useful for, and the best advantage here is they are miniaturized. So you can able to use the applications only for the sensor nodes. And here in this, what are the different Zolatia modes we have? We have Zoll and Remote. We call it as Zoll or Remote. Support simulation in Contiki OS through terminal mode. So we will be seeing an example. So mainly on the terminal mode in Contiki NG OS, these Zoll modes can be programmed. So already we have seen that the command here is make target equals, already we have seen the last session last week, target equals Zoll. So this is how the way this can be programmed. Z1 mode, we have a emulator also in the Kuja framework, but if you want to use terminal mode you can use make target equals Z1. So this is what that we can use it. And Firefly is one more type of thing. It also support Contiki OS, but we are not going to see in this course. So in this course we will be seeing mainly on these two different modes, Zolatia Remote and Zolatia Z1 modes. So Zolatia remotes will be looking like this. So you can see that already I think I have shown you in the week 1 lecture on how the Zolatia modes. So this Zolatia modes we can see there's a LED here. So this LED is on RGB LED. So RGB LED means based on the mixture of red, green and blue, the coloring will be adjusted here. So that means there will be only one LED light according to the proportion, let's say 80%, 80%, 80%. Let's say if you have this way, a color will be formed. This color will be, this LED light will be glowing according to this color. So this is what this RGB LED in remote. Whereas Z1 doesn't have RGB LED, it has only simple LED light. So that means there will be three LED lights like this. So one will be R, another will be G, another will be B. So like this it will be having three LEDs. So accordingly this will be glowing only with red color. Maybe I'll just write R red color, then another thing will be green color, then another will be blue color. So you can see some of my videos in Contiki OS, you can see there will be three LEDs like this. So that means that it uses three colors. But here in this RGB LED, there is only one LED like this. The same LED can able to play any color. So in case if you want to use orange color, I can use orange color. In case if I want to use red, I can use the red color like this. So the same LED will be program. So that's what these Volatia modes are very powerful, and nowadays most of the modes comes with this kind of LEDs. This is one basic example that how the recent devices are being programmed. Inside you can see only this way you can able to see. So that means that you can connect your device via to the USB of your computer. So in the computer you can connect to the laptop or a computer here, and via this you can do the programming. After do the programming, disconnect the supply, disconnect it, and switch on the sensor with connecting to a battery. The sensor will start doing its operations. So that's how this remote comes. Now Z1 mode, this is how the way it looks like. So Z1 mode is just 5 years old. So I mean, but still it is being used proactively in the country. In most of the globally they are using it. And how it looks like. So here you digital I/O. So we have general purpose I/Os, interrupts, timers, comparators. We have digital buses connectivity. That means I2C. We have already seen SPI, serial parallel interface. UART, that is serial communication, USB, and timer capture, compare register. So these are the places where we can able to connect all the registers. Here analog I/O pin, this is digital I/O pins, and here these are all analog I/O pins. So you can see that 2 into 3 volt fidgets, 1 into 3 volt plus 1 into 5 volt fidgets, and ADCs and DACs, analog to digital converter, digital to analog converter. This side we have called RF connectivity, radio frequency, 802.15.4, 6 low pan, ZigBee with power rating. So that means that this is how the Z1 mode contains. So maybe I'll just give an example today in the laboratory session. You can check it how the Z1 mode looks like in the Kuja framework. Okay, in Zolatia modes. Now, what are the different things in available, the features of Zolatia modes? So, this is not relevant to Zoul and not only relevant to Zoul, it's both for Z1 and Zoul. So, double radio interface. So, it has both short and long range interface. So, that means that creates seamless IoT applications. So, it has both interfaces. That means even in the short range and as well as in the long range. So, if you want to deploy the sensor on a highway for monitoring vehicles, you can still do that. And if you want to deploy something inside a home and you want to monitor, still you can do that. So it has both capabilities. Small and lightweight, 2 times smaller than Arduino. So it's 2 times smaller than Arduino, half of the size of Arduino. Industry certified hardware. Ultra low power operation to run on batteries for years, not on months, for years. 300% less than Wi-Fi devices. That means that the power rating is very minimal. So once you deploy the sensor, you forget it for a year. So after the year you can go and replenish the battery or replace the battery. No additional components or power adapters required. Built-in battery charger and powered from 3 to 28 volts. Up to 28 volt we can able to do the power. And micro SD card is available here. Compatible with the Raspberry Pi, BeagleBone, Intel Edison, and any Arduino sensors and actuators. So Intel Edison is one of the board for mainly for IoT by Intel. And BeagleBone is another kind of IoT boards. So it has compatible with all these things. Supported by ContiguOS, RIoT. So that is RIoT is different operating system. In case we want to experience it, you can refer. I also upload a study material on RIoT that I have written to a magazine some time back. And also OpenWSN, now the recent one is being programmed. It is in development, Open Wireless Sensor Networks. So it supports these operating systems. It includes connector to connect various sensors. And remote platform. So what the remote platform, that is a Zoul. 2 radios use both residential, indoor and long range applications. So even up to 100 meters as well as up to 20 kilometers. So 20 kilometers is a very huge range, but still it supports with highly configurable radio parameters such as modulation, data rate, transmission power, etc. So this is what this remote is all about. Then 2 radios compatible while existing and trending protocols such as Thread. There is a protocol Sigfox. You can also develop your own applications with 6LoWPAN and IEEE 802.15.4. This only we are going to see in our applications in Contiki. So mainly please aware that the Contiki NG for Zoul will be mainly on the terminal mode. So you have to experience everything on a terminal mode with a native compiler. Okay, that we will see. Ultra low power operation from 1 microamps to 150 nanoamps. What does it mean? So that means that you can power your application theoretically for more than 10 years. So if it is 1 microamps, you can run it for more than 10 years. A pair of 2 AA size batteries has a 2300 mAh capacity. So that means that we can see that the batteries were used for a TV remote controller. There's a 2 batteries will be using it. So this is how the way we use. So external storage over a micro SD card to easily store and retrieve your data. Battery charging, use rechargeable lithium polymer batteries. So lithium polymer, so LiPo, and we have other battery called as lithium ion. So there are two kinds of batteries available in mainly these handheld devices. Now you just think of one place where mainly you can see many devices nowadays comes with lithium polymer battery, and we have lithium ion. So lithium polymer means, you know, the best example of polymer is a bubble gum. So whatever we chew the bubble gum, it never been decomposed or degraded. So that means that after you consume this bubble gum, after a period of time you just spit it. So that is how the way lithium polymer means polymer never get dissolved. So that means the lithium polymer will be keep on charging itself. That's why. So in, if you take for example iPads, Apple iPads comes with lithium polymer, whereas Apple iPhones comes with the lithium ion battery. So because of some reasons Apple have decided like that. So lithium ion is lithium polymer is have retention capacity is good, and lithium ion the retention capacity is very less. That's why you can see the lithium ion can be the iPhones can be withstanding only 12 hours, whereas this can also be 12 hours, but this is giving power for the entire device. The size of the device is very huge, and the power also occupied will be very huge. So accordingly this thing happens. So lithium polymer batteries also we can use on this remote platform. Directly power with the solar panels possible, and other energy harvesting methods also possible here. Increase security with onboard hardware security. Now this have a SHA2, AES encryption, ECC, elliptic curve cryptography, and RSA for secure key exchange. So even you can make a secure IoT platform using this remote. Industrial grade robustness with an external watchdog timer to ensure the application runs without interruption, recovering from fault. Even it has fault tolerant facility. Fault tolerance. So that means that since the watchdog timer, we call, in short we call in embedded system as WDT. So what it does is whenever you have any application is running, there is a timer running. If an event doesn't trigger within the particular timer, the processor gets reset. So that means the system comes to a starting position of the application. So that's what the purpose of watchdog timer. Best example is go to an ATM machine, insert your card, ATM card, a debit card, and wait. Don't touch any pins or anything. You wait. Maybe according to the bank application, after 60 seconds your card will come out. That means the controller will be reset and the card will come out of your ATM machine. So that is a best example of watchdog timer. So even this remote have a onboard watchdog timer to handle such kind of faults tolerance systems. And real-time clock. Real-time clock means give real-time guaranteedness on the interrupts. So whenever any interrupt is triggered, you can give real-time guaranteedness. Also saying that your device is to put to sleep and wake up every 5 minutes to send data only. So you can make your device to wake up every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes it wake up, send the data, and again go back to the sleep mode. So this also possible here. So interfaces, analog and digital plug-in interfaces are easily being accessible and open source. So mainly the main thing is it supports open source. So working in so many developers working in universities, research centers, and developing latest advancement in IoT for enabling this remote platform across various IoT applications. So now having said that, we have seen Arduino, we have seen Raspberry Pi, and we have seen Mote also. So I have just showcased you various varieties of these platforms. Now what do you think, in what way these modes are different from Arduino and Raspberry Pi? Just go through all the 3 slides or get the web document and just find out in what way they are differing each other. Why they can sustain batteries for years and not months. So how do you say that these modes are sustaining their batteries for years and not months? So what makes them to last longer? So have these questions for you. Thank you very much, learners. We will see in the next video. Thank you.